Okay, so we're going to do a partial sum. So I want the partial sum of the first 7 terms of this geometric series. So we know that the formula for that is S sub n is equal to a sub 1 times 1 minus r to the n over 1 minus r. So things that I have a sub 1, which is 1/2. And you can see that my common ratio is that I'm multiplying by 1/2. You could also find that out algebraically. I'm going to use the first 2 terms. I do the second term 1/4 divided by 1/2, and then I keep, change, flip, and I get 2/4, which is the same thing as 1/2. Remember, when you're multiplying 1/4 by 2, that's 2 over 1. Don't change that into 2 over 2, because that would be 1, and 1 is not equal to. And then you could see that if you multiply 1/4 times 1/2, you do get 1/8. Anywho, moving on. So if I want S sub 7, it's going to be a sub 1 times 1 minus r to the 7th all over 1 minus r. So S sub 7 equals a sub 1, which is 1/2 times 1 minus 1/2 to the 7th power over 1 minus 1/2. Okay, so then I have 1 minus, well, this is this is 1 over 128. And I could technically cancel these 1/2s, and I end up with 127 over 128. And that's the sum of the first 7 terms. Now, there's some different ways they could pose this problem. Let's pretend, shall we? Let's pretend that they just gave you, they asked you what S sub 7 equals, and let's suppose they gave you just the third term and the common ratio. So there's a lot of permutations. You basically try to set it up and then discover what you're missing and then go from there. So as you can see from this formula, I have my common ratio. I don't have a sub 1. So I have another formula, and that's a sub n is equal to a sub 1 times r to the n minus 1. So this is what I would use to find a sub 1, and I'd use my a sub 3. So I'd have 1/8 is equal to a sub 1 times 1/2, and that 1/2 is going to be raised to the 2nd power. So that's 1/8 is equal to a sub 1 times 1/4. And then to get a sub 1, I take 1/8 and I divide it by 1/4, and then I keep, change, flip. Remember, this is 4 over 1. And surprise, surprise, I get a sub 1 is 4/8, which is the same thing as 1/2. And then I go on my merry way, and I can now do this. Okay, so just think about it logically, how you would proceed through the problem. So let's move on to recursive and explicit rules. So we have this right here, this sequence, and it's, if you check to see if it's arithmetic, I'd have to add 24 to 16 to get 40, but if I add 24 to 40, I don't get 100. So then I check to see if it's geometric. So I take 40 and I divide that by 16, and 40 and 16, what goes into both of them? 4. 10/4, which reduces to 5/2. Now the question is, if I do 40 and I multiply that by 5/2, do I get 100? Well, 5 times 40, that's 200 over 2. That's 100. We have a winner. And if I'm still not sure and I do 100 times 5/2 and see if I get 250, well, I get 500 divided by 2. It's 250. So yes, we have a geometric sequence here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write my recursive and explicit rule. So let's just do explicit because we already have a formula for that. Our explicit formula is a sub n is equal to a sub 1 times r to the n minus 1. So super easy. A sub n is equal to a sub 1. Our first term is 16. R is 5/2. And I leave that to the n minus 1. That's my explicit rule. Now for recursive, we know that for recursive, there's two parts. You have your a sub 1, which you have to state. In this case, it's 16. And then you have to write your rule for a sub n. And remember, for recursive, it's called recursive because to get the next term, you use the previous. So the previous to a sub n is a sub n minus 1. And to go from one term to the next, I always end up multiplying by r, right? I'm multiplying by 5 halves. Multiplying by 5 halves. So that's just times 5 halves. And that's my recursive rule. Okay, last one. This one's a little different. So we're going to write a recursive rule for this sequence. And this is a unique sequence. So if you try arithmetic, to go from 1 to 1, you'd add 0. And most certainly when I add 0 to 1, I don't get 2. So it's not arithmetic. And then if I try geometric, the only way I'm going to get 1 from 1, I would multiply by 1. But obviously 1 times 1 is not 2, so it's not geometric. So this one is unique. Okay, this is called Fibonacci sequence. So basically, if you notice, okay, from the third term, if I do 1 plus 1, I get 2. Okay, and then to get to 3, I add the previous two terms. So 1 plus 2 is 3. And then to get the next term, 5, I add the previous two terms. 2 plus 3 equals 5. So if I want to write the recursive rule, remember it's two parts. A sub 1, I state it. And then I'm adding the two previous terms. So if I say a sub n, then adding the previous term to a sub n minus 1, to a sub n is a sub n minus 1. And then to add the previous term before that, two terms before that would be a sub n minus 2. And there's your recursive rule. It's a very famous sequence.